Welcome to episode 4 of Stitched in Hand. I am Janet and welcome to my 2023 WIP Parade. I want to welcome back all of my returning viewers as well as welcome any new ones. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I know I'm a little late to the game when it comes to WIP Parades. It's February 22nd and the majority of Flosstubers I'm obviously much more organized than I am. I do have to say though, I was pretty impressed with myself. I'm a very unorganized person. I'm a procrastinator. Yeah. However, I was very impressed with myself. Last week, I created an Excel spreadsheet. I put in all of my WIPs, all of my kitted items, all of my patterns, all of the books I have with the patterns in them. So I have everything in one spot in Excel in little separate, are they booklets? I can't even, spreadsheets, in separate spreadsheets in one Excel booklet. So I was impressed with myself there. I also decided this year I was going to give WIP Go a try. I have to admit, I'm not very good at, I don't want to say it's being told what to do, but if, you know, my WIP Go goal is to do something specific, sometimes you know what, I like to do whatever strikes my fancy that particular day. However, I'm going to give it a try. Unfortunately, I didn't start it in January, I started in February, so there's already 2 blocks that I have not completed. However, I do have one completed for February already. And let me share, I'm going to share that. I know it's a finish and this is a WIP Parade, but I'm going to share that. First, I just want to show you, this is my big bag of works in progress. Here they all are. So this is a bog bag. Here it is. It's a really good large size and I like it because it comes with these pouches. There's another one on this side. I don't know if you can see it now, but it has a small pouch on this side that has all of my scissors in it. In this big pouch it has my readers, pen, glasses cleaner, because my glasses get really smudgy. So it's nice to have all those in hand. I also have a little needle case in there too, in case I somehow misplace a needle. So this, it's nice and narrow. It fits perfectly in between the couch and a table that I have right by where I stitch. So this has been amazing. I just started using this a few weeks ago and I feel much more organized and I don't have all of my stuff all over the place, which I think my husband appreciates. So let me start with the WIP Go goal that I completed. So it was to complete the stitch from Keeper of the Pins that I had started over a year ago. So, and this is with thy needle and thread, and most people have probably already stitched these, but I had started this one here as soon as the book came out and I got my hands on it. So it's been a while. So I did finish this. Yay! It took me forever, yet at the same time, as soon as I had it done, I'm like, it shouldn't have taken me as long as it did. So my first WIP Go goal is done. I am keeping this in the bag. My goal is to, because I have a ton of material, is to stitch all of them. I am doing this. This is Call for Colors on 32 count vintage country mocha. I thought I had done the called for, but I didn't. It calls for 36 and I'm doing 32 and I'm actually already running low on the red. So I had to order, my Joann's for whatever reason, it does not have a whole lot of, not Joann's, Michael's. The Joann's isn't close to me. My Michael's doesn't seem to have a lot of the DMC in stock. And sometimes I'll order them to be pick up and they have to cancel my order. So I ended up ordering it online. So I'm just waiting for that to come to me. But that is my first WIP goal completed for 2023. Then I'm going to quickly talk about my second goal. I'm going to try and quickly go through the projects I had shared in my last Flosstude, only because you've already seen them, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on them. But this is Harriet Elizabeth Co. So this month it was pulled for Flossco, and it is 10 days working on this, and I'm on 9. Yeah, today was the 9th day, so tomorrow will be the 10th, and I am sure I'm going to continue stitching it for the rest of February as well, if not into March. So here are the call for colors, and here is what I have so far. And this, again, this is on 32 count Extrude Designs, gray beige, and I just love her fabric. So that is my first work in progress and my soon to be completed second with Coco. Okay, then my next work in progress is the Sarah Jackson sampler by the Scarlet House, and here it is. I'm not going to, these are not ironed, and I don't see a glare too much, so I'm going to try not to take it out of the plastic. But you may hear crinkling because I'll put things back into the bags as I go, just so I don't have a huge mess when I'm done. So here is, so this was my birthday start, and here is what I have so far on Sarah Jackson. So I am done all the flowers. I'm hoping to have the first half, the top half of this completed by the end of February, which is definitely doable. I think I'll concentrate most on Harriet Elizabeth Co. and Sarah Jackson for the rest of this month, just to get a good chunk done, because I want both of these up on my walls. As a new stitcher, I don't have a lot of cross stitch hanging up, so I really do, I feel like I've done a whole lot of starts on samplers and things I have on the wall, but I have not completed them. So the next project here is, this is Remember Me by Scattered Seed Sampler. And I actually, since I saw you last, I've gotten here we go, the second rose done. And this is knit with kind of my own conversion, because none of Michael's didn't have, they had one of the called for floss. So I honestly just kind of went through my stash and picked as close as possible to the called for colors. And then this is being stitched on Tobias by Seraphim Fabrics on 36 count. So some of these, because they're older, I may not remember what I'm stitching on, but I will do my best to remember, and if not, I'll try and put it down below. And then, let's see, this is the last one I had showed in my last floss tube. So this is Florence Law, Waste Not, Want Not. And here is the pattern, and this was a PDF download. And I don't think, so I am doing this completely different. It's a red sampler, but as you can see, I'm mostly blue in my house, so I have switched it up. So this is what I have so far. and this is being stitched on Seraphim fabric, 40 count in Braying Donkey, which is an exclusive to Stitcher's World in Littleton, Massachusetts. And I am stitching this with NPI. So it was labeled odd shade 835. So I don't think this is a standard color of NPI. So that is another sampler. You'll see I have started a lot of samplers and have not gotten too far in them. And I should say, I haven't bought any bags, but I've been making my own. So here's one of them, a vinyl front. So I have used Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch her tutorials, and then I've made these little floss books. So I have a little place here to keep the needle and then a floss catcher. I've just used some old batting. And yeah, and it has a little snap, and that's that. So alright, and then alright, so getting into new things you guys have not seen. So the next one is, this is my Halloween bag. This material, this is by Thimbleberries, who went out of business I think in 2018, but how amazing is this fabric? I have a quilt with it, and then I've made little pumpkins, and then I made this bag, and I love this material. I wish I could get more of it. But in here is my one Halloween stitch. So I guess that being said, I'm very good at finishing my fall stitches. But this is the Cranky Owl, and by Dark Crosses, which is actually Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery. And I am stitching this with Hickory Sticks by Classic Colorworks, and here is, none of this is ironed, but here is what I have. He's so cute. So honestly, I have the majority of this done. I just have to continue up with the branches on both sides, and I don't think I'm going to do the circle. This is all a stitch circle. Well, this is all a stitch circle outlining it. I don't think I'm going to do the circle. I think I'm just going to do the branches and leave it at that. So this one is one I definitely should be able to get completed this year. Alright, what else do we have? So this is another bag. Like I said, all of these bags are by me with leftover fabric or scraps that I have. So in this one is, let's see here, these are obviously my patriotic stitches. So this is Long May She Wave by Primrose Cottage, and I'm like, again, I've got things. So this is 32 count vintage country mocha, and here's what I have. So I have all of the blue completed. That was in Wavy Navy by Classic Colorworks, and then I am using the Called For Weeks, which is Louisiana hot sauce. So I'm stitching this 2/2 on 32 count. I do prefer 1/1 now on 32 count. I've done a few of them, and I feel like the coverage is just as good, and my stitches just lie flatter. But that's what I have on that one. And then also in here I have, let's see, look at, I've got threads and needles hanging everywhere, halfway through stitches. Let me just, so the next one is a Sub Rosa design, and this is her Patriot series, Patriot Pincushion. And I don't have too much of this started, but I am using all the called for on this. Here's what I have, and this is on 36 count, vintage country mocha. And then I have one last project in here. And I do a lot of, I'm horrible, there we go. The one I'm making a lot of noise, but I do a lot of digital downloads because I don't have the patience to wait for the mail to come to me. But this is a Stacey Nash Primitives design, and this is Summer House Pin Keep. Again, I am using all the called for colors. I do have to say too, I'm a sucker for white houses. I love that white house. So I have all of the call for colors here, and this is being stitched on 32 count Zweigart raw, and that's all I have of that. Just started the top border there, so I haven't gotten very far on that one. And again, here are the called for. Actually, is it all the called for? I have to say I was having a hard time this summer finding blues. This is the called for blue though. I don't know what it was, but I ordered a ton of blues because I just couldn't find the called fors. Freedom was one I had a hard time. Brethren blue, because I stitched the Coffee First by Brenda Gervais, so she had called for that one. And it was, like I said, it was a struggle finding a lot of blues this summer. So, alright, so those are all my patriotic stitches I have going on. I'm just going to throw them all in here. Alright, okay. Now the next one I have, I almost feel bad. I'm not quite sure what happened. I didn't watch her live, but I had ordered, this was on a lot of people's, was one of their unicorn charts. This is Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather, and I did buy the digital download from 1884 Stitchery, which unfortunately she's not offering them anymore. I'm kind of glad I got it when I did. But I pulled, these are all, I just pulled colors that I had that were close to the called for. Or as close as I could get them, because I did not want to wait to start this. I've been dying to stitch this forever, so when it came out, I grabbed it. But this is what I have so far on this. I have the bird done, the numbers, I have one letter done over here. And this is being stitched on 36 count Boardwalk by Color and Cotton. Alright, and next, oh, this one. I love this one. Here we go. So this is Yellow Bird by Lottie Da, and this is horrible. You start it and then I don't know why I stopped. So this is what I have. I am stitching this with NPI 899 on Smoky White by Zweigart. I love that blue. I am stitching this 2/2, and I was recently just watching, can't remember who it was, but they said even with 32 count, silk should be done 1/2 on 32 count. I'm hoping I'll have enough. I'm going to continue with the 2/2. I'm not going to rip all this out. I started this when I first started stitching, and I am off a stitch somewhere, and I don't remember where, so I do have to go back and figure it out and figure out how I can finagle and correct that. And then what else in this bag? This bag has a ton of goodies in it. So the next one here is Colonial Blooms by the Scarlet House. And it is with all the call for colors. I just kind of kept them in the bag to keep them together. And This is being stitched on 36 count Dusty Road by Seraphim Fabrics. Actually, I could probably do this. And this is what I have so far. And I keep, so the horn book here is by Homestead Needlework, and I've ordered from her before. I have this in my cart on Etsy, and I try not to buy finishing items until I've actually completed a project. However, I feel like I need to stick this in my cart and buy it. So I have it already. Maybe it'll motivate me to finish stitching it. And then the last thing I have in this particular bag is Pineberry Lane's Sarah Barker. Yeah, Barker. And I love these colors. So let's see. I am using, I don't have them on a loop. Nope, I just have them thrown randomly in a bag. Again, organization is not my strong suit here, but using all of the called for colors. And I am stitching this on R&R's Weathered Shingle. And here is what I have so far on this one. So I've just started, well, I'm almost done the top border. I think I have 2 more flowers there. So that one I would like to, it's not a huge sampler, 140 by 159. I really feel like not a lot of these are massive. But I have a lot of them. I keep saying, oh, I want to finish this one, I want to finish this one. I think I just need to take them one at a time and do as much as I can to finish them up. Alright, and then my next one, oh, I love this one too. It's so nice when you pull everything out and you're just like, oh, yep, love this one too. So this is Winter, The Winter is Past by Blackbird Designs. I'm using, again, all of the called for colors. And I am using the called for 36 count Oaken. And that is what I have on that. So I have the top border done, the first row of letters, and I've got that gold border going on as well. So it is nice though that no matter what I pull out, I love and I'm enjoying, and I'm not dreading everything. Of course, it's like every time I'm like, why did I stop stitching this? Okay, and then my next one is, again, I love these. This is just a batik with little seashells on them. So you know, I get sucked into all these amazing floss tubers and designers and talks about you know, Sunday stitches or Tomato Tuesday or what's Monday? I can't even remember, but I always say, well, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm not very good at, you have to do this. Once I'm like, you have to do something, I've lost all interest in actually doing it. But I started this one as a Sunday stitch and I need to get back to it. And this is by My Big Toe Designs, and this is Love One Another. And I am using all the called for colors, and I'm stitching this on 32 count plateau. I'm in the middle of a stitch here, but here is what I have on that. Feel stalled out on this one. I'm not loving the colors, and I can't tell what it is. I'm thinking it just might be that blue flower is such a contrast to all the other colors for me. Maybe I just need to pull it out and change that particular color for that little flower. We'll see, but that is what I have on that one. And like I said, I'm not I just stitch on what I want to stitch on whatever day I want to stitch it at. I'm not very good at keeping up with directions. Alright, and then let's see some Christmas stuff here in this little bag. I don't even know what's in here. Oh, yep, here we go. So, the first one was one of the first cross stitches I ever started. And I started this when I was stitching in a Q-snap, and I much prefer stitching in hand. And the witch house that I had completed this fall, I had started in a Q-snap, and I'm like, I'm never gonna finish this if I don't switch over to stitching in hand. And I think it looks fine, so I just need to do that with this one too. So this is Frosty Days by Cherry Hill Stitchers. And here is what I have for that. So I have a good amount of that done, and I am using, no, I'm not using any of the called for colors. Nope, I made up my own colors, and I'm stitching it on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. And let's see, what else do I have in here? Oh, here we go. Then I have a lot of Christmas stuff here. So this is by Misty of Luminous Fiber Arts. So this is Noel Rouge. I am stitching these on, see, I thought it was the smoky white, but I don't see the smokiness in it. So I am working on this one right here. And I'm using Louisiana hot sauce. And here is what I have on that. That I really should just sit down and finish up, because I just have the tree and some of the bottom to do. So I'm actually done more than I thought I did on this one. All right, and then, oh, I have more than just one more left in here. All right. Then I have by JB Designs the Christmas pear. So here it is. And I have a very small, do I even want to call this a start? So this is on Zweigart Raw 32 count with Opal Essence. So I had bought a huge, I think I bought a fat half of this, not realizing that it had, I think it, does Zweigart call it crystal? Not realizing it had all that sparkle to it. But then I'm like, you know what, I'll stitch some Christmas things on it. So I have a very small start on that, and I am stitching this with the Thread Gatherer Silk in Colors, and this is in Independence Rain. So here it is. And again, just a really, I've got it's the Christmas pear, and I have like, where is it? Right there, the pear. You can barely see it. So that's that project. And one more that I started, and very small start on this one as well. So this one is by Artful Offering. And this is, what is the name of it? Joy Noel. And like I said, I have a lot of blue, so I decided I switched out, the greens are the same, but I switched out the blues. I have Freedom and Midnight by Gentle Arts. And then I am keeping Ribbon Red for, there is some berries in the wreath, so I'll keep that there. But I have, ready? Whoops. I have a needle in here. Here we go. It's at December 25th and one little wreath leaf. And that's it. So, and this is being stitched on 32 count. It's the called for Zweigart. Is it platinum? Sorry for all the rustling. Yep, platinum. So, and I had gotten this as a kit from Treehouse Fiber Arts. And like I said, I had the reds, I took the reds out and I switched them for the blues that I already had in my stash. So that is it for all of my Christmas works in progress. What else do I have? So this one is pretty big one. So this one is a Liz Matthews Gather Here, and here is the pattern, and I am stitching this again on 32 count plateau with wrought iron by Gentle Arts, and I have it upside down. This is quite large. So this is what I have so far on it. So if I could get the bird done, I'd be about halfway through on that one. So this one is on my WIPCO board for 10 days. Hopefully that will be enough to get through a lot of that. It's a quick stitch. Alright, and the next thing, I've shown this before, this is Birds of a Feather Bitter Flower Sampler, and I'm doing my own color conversion with this. And this one, I've been struggling, so I had been using the chart on the back. It is so tiny. So I ended up taking photos of it and blowing it up on my phone, imprinting them so I have a larger chart to follow that I can see. Here's what I have so far. And I made a mistake on this alphabet here on the side. Two of the letters, instead of having 3 spaces between them, I only put 2, so it's a row off. Somehow, miraculously, though, my flower is a row off. I don't know how I did that with the flower. I can't figure that out, so I have to kind of maneuver the inside of the flower to be that 1 row off without it looking odd. I did figure out on the row over here, there's some letters with 3 spaces between them, so I'll just put 2 there. I made a note on my working pattern, as well as I'm going to move the B up here in the corner to 1 row up. So hopefully everything will work out. Hopefully. So I put this one in a little bit of a timeout right now just because I have to remember I'm at 1 space off, and some days I just want to sit and not think about things I did and what I did wrong. Alright, so the next one I have this is completely because of the influence of Contented Needleworker Kim. This is Hester Van Dorne, and I am just stitching the bird section, the center section of this. I'm stitching it with Carriage Black on, I think this is 32 count. It's either mushroom or light mocha Zweigart linen, but here is what I have so far. I kind of have the bird butt and some flowers done, so you can see the little tail feathers down there and the flowers. This was 1 weekend, which actually is pretty good for me. At least I think I did well stitching a lot of that this weekend, over the weekend. So I need to get back to all of this. And then let's see here, I got a couple Plum Street samplers. One of them, this is horrible. So I think I've shown this before. This is True Friendship Pat Sampler by Plum Street, and I am stitching this for a friend. I was going to take it with me down to Atlanta. I didn't finish it. Now what I really should do is I should try, her birthday's in March, so I really should try and finish this for her birthday, frame it and ship it down to her. So there is what I have on that, and I am doing this on 32 count plateau. Can you tell I just love 32 count? Well, no, I love plateau. It is my favorite linen color by Zweigart. Unfortunately, all I can find is the in 32 count. I don't think they make it in 36 or 40. I haven't seen it, but I am using all of the called for flosses on this one. Then I have my other Plum Street sampler, which is French woolens. And this is, I've worked on this for one day. Again, I am using all the called for colors on this one as well. Except for, no, I shouldn't say, except for wood smoke. I couldn't find wood smoke, so I am using sepia by Color and Cotton instead. And this is being stitched on a very large piece of 32 count Barb's Blend by R&R Fabric. And here's what I have. So I have the roof, I have a sheep butt. Look at, I've got the bird butt, and I have a sheep butt. Sorry, I'm getting a little slap happy right now. But I have, that is my start, my very small start on that one. And then I have a couple other really small starts. So I figured we're getting into, so today is Ash Wednesday. So the start of the Lenten season, and those who celebrate it, happy Ash Wednesday. I don't know if it's considered happy or not, but here is Acts of Kindness by Scattered Seed Samplers. So I am, again, all the called for colors on this one, and I am stitching this on 32 count Zweigart, but I don't remember what color Zweigart I have. So I have stitched this year 4 times. I should be much further along if I could count properly. I've ripped out, I put in, I've ripped out, I put in. So I don't have a massive start on this one, even though I've put in quite a bit of stitching time on it. So the last work in progress is actually kind of a finish as well. So this is Stacy Nash Primitive Sweater Weather Stack. Say that 10 times fast. I'm surprised I got that out all at once. So I've actually finished the smallest one already. And I started the larger one. I'm trying to get this all, again, 32 count plateau. I'm trying to get this all on, all 3 of them on this one strip. So I went from biggest to smallest, and then I'll put the medium one in the middle. This is being stitched with Thread Gatherer threads. This is number 1063. Here it is. So that is my last work in progress. Yeah, that's my last one. So I've got quite a bit I want to accomplish and finish up quite a few of those. Which one do you guys think I should try and finish up first? Let me know in the comments below. I didn't share Lego on my last floss tube, so I'm gonna quickly grab him. He's sitting in my stitchy spot because I got up and God, he looks so comfortable. I'm gonna go disturb him so this way I can, after I put away this mess I've made, I can sit in my stitchy spot and stitch. Here is Lego. He hates the camera as much as he hates being held, so. Are you looking? There he is. He's such a good boy. He's mad at me. So the boys and I went to New York City on Monday. We had an amazing time, but we went without him, and my husband had to stay home. He worked from home on Monday. So this one, I guess, stared out the window all day waiting for me to come home, and now he's mad at me. And he's mad at me because I picked him up from his nap. Anyways, that's it for my WIP Parade. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will be back next week with my regular floss tube. Until then, have a great week and happy stitching.